Paul's top knockouts. Jake Paul might be just one of the most divisive personalities in combat sports. Most people like to hate him, but even they can't deny that the problem child is a genius when it comes to picking fights and promoting them. He has also shown that he isn't what many may call a YouTube boxer. He is legit, and he has put a lot of effort into becoming a serious boxer who deserves respect.
Good body shot again from Paul, and that has affected Perry.
With his last win over Mike Perry, Jake now has a respectable record of 10 wins and 1 loss. So let's take a look at some of Jake Paul's best knockouts. Jake steps into the world of boxing with a knockout performance. Jake's first fight was back in 2018. However, unlike others, his debut wasn't in some underground gym against an up-and-coming fighter. Nope. It was in a ring at Manchester Arena where Jake squared off against Deji Olatunji, the younger brother of KSI, in a much-hyped YouTuber showdown. In classic Jake Paul style, he didn't just win, he knocked Deji out in the 5th round. Jake Paul goes pro. Fast forward to 2020, and Jake decided to make things serious. He stepped into the professional boxing ring, and his first opponent was another YouTuber in Anderson Gibb. Jake showed everyone that his interest in boxing wasn't just a phase when he took a little over 2 minutes to knock Gibb out, starting his pro career with a first-round knockout. Paul versus Nate Robinson. In his next fight, Jake Paul faced Nate Robinson. Robinson was a basketball player who, like many people, didn't take Paul seriously, thinking he was just another YouTube prankster. However, Paul proved him wrong. The bout was part of the undercard for the Mike Tyson vs. Roy Jones Jr. exhibition, and Jake stole the show, knocking Robinson out cold in the 2nd round. Paul takes on his first real fighter. Up till now, Jake had only fought other YouTubers and athletes. But for this fight, he faced Ben Askren, a very talented and highly regarded MMA fighter, who was known for his exceptional wrestling. Jake showed MMA striking is way different than boxing when he knocked Ben Askren out in less than 2 minutes. Paul takes on a former champion. Jake's next challenge came from none other than UFC veteran and former UFC welterweight champion, Tyron Woodley. Their rivalry sparked after a backstage confrontation, leading to an official bout in August 2021. This fight was quite competitive and ended in a split decision win for Jake. Now, the story could have ended there, but Woodley demanded a rematch. Jake, being the prankster that he is, said that he would only grant the rematch if Woodley got a tattoo which said, "I love Jake Paul." To everyone's surprise, Woodley actually did it. This time, Jake didn't leave the decision to the judges, and in the 6th round, he landed a heavy right hand which instantly knocked Paul out, sending his limp body crashing into the canvas. Paul steps up the competition. In his next 2 fights, Paul really took a step up in competition. First, he fought Anderson Silva, a former UFC champion and an exceptionally talented striker, unlike Woodley and Askren. Paul won via split decision after a very competitive match. In his next fight, he faced his first real professional boxer, Tommy Fury. He did put up a good effort, but lost the fight via split decision. Paul couldn't get back to his power-punching wars for his next fight either, winning a unanimous decision against UFC star Nate Diaz. Jake gets his power back. Now, in December of 2023, Jake shut the critics up by taking a fight against a legit up-and-coming boxer, Andre August. August was a former regional champion and had a record of 10 wins and 1 loss before fighting Jake. Jake once again showcased his incredible power and raw talent by knocking August out in the 1st round. In his next fight, he faced another up-and-coming boxer, Ryan Borland, who was very experienced with 17 wins and 2 losses as a pro boxer. Once again, Jake finished the fight before the bell for the 1st round rang and added another 1st round knockout against a legit boxer to his resume, facing the King of Violence. Earlier this year, Jake was supposed to face the legendary Mike Tyson, but due to an injury, the fight got postponed. Instead, Jake fought former UFC star and BKFC's King of Violence, Mike Perry. This was a tough fight for Jake, with him even getting a cut on his head. However, he still managed to knock out the tough-as-nails Mike Perry. Conclusion: love him or hate him, Jake Paul has carved out a legitimate career in boxing. He's proved doubters wrong time and time again, turning what many thought was a gimmick into a real fighting career. So, whether he's squaring off against UFC legends or taking on professional boxers, Jake continues to push the boundaries, and it doesn't look like he's slowing down anytime soon. What's next for Jake Paul? Only time will tell, but one thing's for sure, you'll be tuning in.